that's preparing for live stream. Meeting live stream, got it. I don't know if I need to record this too, but yeah, I guess that's kind of record. Okay, everybody, welcome to Spiritual Sunday, and today we're going to talk about angels, aliens, the Kabbalah, and magic. And this time, I want to do something that is a physical exercise that you're going to do, which is going to take you directly into 5D. And that's how we're going to end this. And that's how we're going to look at how to make the adjustments to working with aliens and angels too, as well. So to get started, if somebody wants to put in the chat or say out loud, have you ever met an angel or saw an alien? If so, put that in the chat.
Yes.
Who said yes?
Resi.
Okay, tell us about it. What happened?
I see him every night. I saw one just before coming on. This one. Let me see what that was. Always said borders trying to keep them out, but it doesn't work. But I guess that's just life. But anyway, I saw one. I was looking at the person. They had like a brown object in the center of their hand. It's like wooden or clay. And they had a symbol on the front of it, like something ancient. But it had like a popsicle stick or something sticking in the top. So I pushed it in a little bit, and it started directing to my right side. And the right side pointed to another person or whatever. But it was part alien, and then it was part spirit too, because the energy was so strong that it kept pulling me to the right. And then once I woke up, I could still feel my hands were still warm from the experience, because that means the energy was still running and the spirit was still in the room. I tried to connect with it, and it wouldn't give me a name, but it would show me the person's face. And the face was like a European or white individual that, was really weathered or something like that. And he had like a black hoodie on his head. He wanted something from me, but I was unable to pick up what his message was. And during the time, he didn't propose any threat to anything, but he wouldn't identify who he was or anything like that. And in the back, during that session also, I saw like a reddish brown brick building. It had like 6 windows in the front, but all of them were dark black. But I like I say, I see them every night. And every time I try to block them, they still come through anyway. Sometimes, it's 2 types. They look like people, just like you and I. But you have the type that's kind of feel entitled. And then you have another type that's, that you can talk to and get along with. The ones that's entitled is the ones that usually propose a threat, because they think everything you have, they should be entitled to take it away from you. And, you just accept the situation as it is.
Interest.
But like I said, I have them every night. There's always something different. It's never the same person.
You said it's not the same person?
Not every night, no. There's always a different scenario.
Okay. All right. We're going to talk about that. Anybody else? Trying to look in the chat to see. Has anybody else seen an angel or an alien? All right. Chris said, I have seen an angel once in meditation. Okay.
Yeah, I think I shared it with you before, but one time I was in meditation, and this angel appeared and it was on the right side of my face, and it was just basically the head, and it was really big, and it would kind of shift between a masculine and a feminine face. And anyway, I ended up researching it later on. It turned out it was Archangel Ariel, and that it kind of changes between masculine and feminine. And later that day, someone gave me 3 stones because I was at the Monroe Institute, and this girl gave me these 3 stones, and they were rose quartz. Actually, I have them sitting here. And turns out that's the stone for that angel. And we were out in nature, and it's a nature. She has to do with nature and healing and that sort of thing. So it was, and I didn't know anything about angels. I had to research it and figure it out. But yeah, that was my experience. But that's the only time that I ever had like a really large presence.
Wow. Okay. Dwayne?
So I think I want to add too. I think I've met one of the guardian angels because earlier this year, when I would ask questions, for some reason, this card, like out of a card deck, came up, and you saw this guy. He was in the center of it, and he was showing a side image, and he would tell me yes, no, or maybe. And then when I would get it wrong, you see a frown on his face, like saying, "That's not what it's supposed to be. You know, it's supposed to be such and such like that." And I said, "Wow!" And he comes up like he used to come up like every few sessions or whatever like that. But he just made me smile because he wasn't intimidating. But I was just surprised out of all these tarot cards, he just pop up like he's like a prince, king, or whatever he is, and he sits there just as bold. And when I say, "Well, was it such and such?" and he just said, "No," just like you got it wrong. So when I do it again, he say, "Okay," and then he gives me like a heads up that you're right on the right track. So I enjoy, interacting with him.
Okay. All right. So let's jump in unless someone else has an angel or alien experience. Anyone else? Okay. All right. What I want to do is let's talk about something first and get our connotation straight. Aliens and angels. Certain things today I'm going to propose to you. And I want to suggest that you suspend what you know in order to grow. So whatever you walked into today, thinking about the way the world is set up, the way the realm of angels or aliens and do they exist, for everything you know, try your best to put it all to the side, to suspend that. Because if you can do that for the next hour, I guarantee you will never be the same at the end of this. So something happened to me last night where I was given a premonition on something old, something that I had seen so many times that it seemed like a parlor trick to me. But yesterday, it became a gateway for opening people up to the 5D realm. So I wanted to start off and talk about and just push this out here in terms of a premise around aliens and angels. And the premise is, suspend what you know in order to grow, that there is no difference between the two. I know, I see your face, Roncie. So I'm going to say it again. I tried to tell everybody, suspend what you know in order to grow. Everything you can think and just imagine, just push it all to the side, because I'm going to introduce to you something totally different. And that same mindset of looking at something the way you used to, man, it becomes paramount in what we're going to go over today. What I'm saying is that angels and aliens are the same, that these are names that people throughout history have given to apparitions and experiences they have had. Period. So really, an angel or an alien is simply a non-human. Period. A non-human. It's a being of some sort. And when you look at angels and aliens, being the same, all right? One person's angel is another person's demon. I'm sure the demons don't seem like demons to say the devil. It's the other way around. So what I want you to do is suspend what you know, right? Whatever you thought you knew about angels, whatever you thought you knew about aliens, right? Whatever you thought you knew about heaven, that heaven is someplace that's far away. Heaven is right around us, We can see it now. And guess what? So is hell. Depending on your vibration, that is the experience you're getting. So when it comes to your ability to see certain angels, we need to raise our vibrations. When it comes to seeing some angels that other people may call demons, we need to lower our vibrations. So that's the first thing. Let's set the stage for that. And then I'm going to talk to you about the bigger thing, which is that switch from 3D to 5D. What is 3D? What is 5D? And some people question like, well, what about 4? Ain't there like a 3.5, a 3.5? How do you just get from 3 to 5? And we just counting in twos. Are these only the prime numbers? What's going on? So let me start sharing my deck. And we're going to go into it. Okay, to give you some examples. 3D versus 5D. 3D living is like fear-based, right? So like, I'm afraid that the police may get me, right? I'm afraid of black on black crime. I'm afraid of being raped, beat, hit. I'm afraid of losing all my money. I'm afraid of being broke. I'm afraid I won't be able to pay the bills. That's all fear-based. That is 3D, like how we existed for like the last 2,000 years as human beings. The opposite end is fearless, that you have no fear of not having money, that you're going out and you're doing whatever your life purpose is. How many people aren't going after their dreams strictly because of fear? That's what it really comes down to. I'm afraid. I'm afraid she won't like me, so I ain't going to ask. I'm afraid she's going to get upset if I go away. I'm afraid that I won't have a place to live and stay. I have nobody to have my back if I don't have this job or I don't find a way to bring money in. It's a lot of false-based fear. Not trusting the universe. Conditional love. I'm going to love you, but only if you act this way. There's a lot of conditional love going on that we're not calling it that, but it is conditional. You better have some money if you want that love. That's a very conditional love. You better not make me look bad in front of white people. That's a very conditional love. I heard that a lot from my mama. You better not make me look bad in front of these white people. Controlling the outcome versus being free. This is all 3D, ego focus type thing. We play the victim versus understanding that everything we do is in our control, that we are creating our present. So on the 5D side, it's the feeling of oneness, right? You're in alchemy mode. You're creating stuff, active creative. You're trusting the universe. So how does this work? This works in the sense that we're in a transition where, not to make it political, but since there's a stark difference between these two characters, we went from our president being President Obama to our president being Donald Trump. Now, regardless of how you feel politically, you may like one, you may like the other, you may not like none. One thing is for sure. One of these things are doing their own thing. One of these things are not the same. They are two totally different energetic beings. And for our country to go from choosing one to choosing another shows the volatile transition period that you, me, and everybody we know up in here have decided to be incarnated on this earth during this tumultuous time. That means we like the ninjas. They just called the A-Team. Remember the A-Team with Mr. T? I'm Mr. T, I think. Dun, dun, dun. I pity the fool who don't get his spiritual on. We are the A-Team that have come down here to clean up shop. Now, here's the deal. You're going to have some people that are in the 5D mode all day. Very few. They're like, we are the world. We are the tree huggers, right? And then on the other day, you got the other people. I want money, lots and lots of money. I'm gonna get me a car. That's on the other spectrum, right? The people that are stuck in the 3D and greed and money, and they're counting all this stuff, and they're counting how good their wife looks, and do they have the 2.5 kids in a car, or half a car and a whole kid? I don't know. They're trying, but they get it. But then they still feel empty. Now, some people, most of us, are in the middle. Sometimes I'm feeling we are the world. Sometimes I'm feeling like I'm gonna whip your ass if you mess with me one more again. So with that, we are floating in and out of the 5D existence, where we see miraculous things because we're vibrating at a miraculous level, but it does not stay. All right? Or we get down and we're having to get grimy with somebody and put them in their place because of work or whatever. And then the next thing you know, we get off track of some of our blessings. So I had to put that into scope and set the picture in order to describe where we are, okay, in terms of thinking. And because of that, that's everything that has to do with angels, demons, aliens, whatever you want to call them. They're non-humans. All right. And I'm telling you, they are the exact same. And I want to go through and share the screen with you to break it down in terms of the aliens and the Kabbalah and magic. We're going to do some magic today. We're absolutely going to do some magic today. And by the time I finish, your third eye is going to be rocking. Well, at least most of us, our third eye will be rocking, but there'll be somebody that will be kicking their laptop screen. I don't know who it is right now, but if we see, okay, that probably means somebody got pissed at the third eye. Damn, third eye, been cocky ever since I've been in the 3rd grade. I don't know, but the rest of us, we're going to be okay. But there always is one. All right, let's find out who's who and what's going on. All right, I want to talk to you about angels. Let's use some angels, right? All the same thing. Angels, aliens, all the same thing. But there are some arch beings, some archangels, 4 of them that get kicked out a lot. Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. Okay. These are the 4 archangels. You guys have heard of them before, right? Now, the interesting thing is the reason why they are so powerful and so much the core is because they're all pieces of God. El means God. So Mika, El, is God. God's will. Mika means will. Gabriel, El, means God's message. The El is God. Uri means soul searching, purifying. Rapha means healing. So these archangels are all aspects of God. They are pieces, they're manifestations of God. It's like you have God at the top, and then from God, you have the divine projection that gets pushed down. And the first split off are these 4 massive beings. Now, this is the case, by the way. It's not just on planet Earth. It's throughout the universe and multiverse. So that's the first thing to take a look at. That you have this projection down of God, pieces of God. And then from there, you have further projections down. And here are the other projections down. Okay. Alien beings, meaning people who do not originate on this planet. Okay. Then you have beings that have no body, no density, only vibrations. All right. So you have people. Try to get you a good view. Here we go. Let me go back. Put this down for you. I'm going to move this to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. Because I know Kevin will call me out on this. He certainly will. And rightfully so. Okay. You're going to have different types of angels, demons, aliens. Again, you're talking non-humans, right? People who are not in the physical, they don't look like us, feel like us, and in so many cases think like us. So you're going to have some people that were born here and they're deceased and they visit you. Are those angels? Are they aliens? They're coming from a different place. They're not from here, right? Then you're going to have a different type, and those type are not going to have a body, no density. They're only vibrations. An example of that would be a being that called himself Ra, who dictated a book called The Law of One. And I did some free flow writing yesterday from a collective of beings too. And that's a channel group. That's the next one, where you actually have a group of entities, beings that are talking to you at one time. And I can explain that. Okay, so ancient beings means you have someone who was born, they just weren't born on this planet. They were born someplace else. Okay. Then the next, you have somebody who was born on this planet, but they're dead. You ain't high-fiving them. Unless it's a spiritual high five. Then you have people who were never born. I say people, but you understand what I mean. Beings that were never born. Or they were born and they just advanced. There's a certain level. Once you get into higher level chakras, where a human being must give up their body in order to move forward. And that's mostly when you get to the point where Kevin, Rozzy, and me are all kind of sharing one brain. Or rather, all our brains are connected and we're thinking as one. There is no lying to each other. There's only cooperation and moving forward. It's a higher level thinking. Just imagine how tough it is for you to handle science or math. But you can connect in with someone like Kevin who understands math, and then collectively together, we all get it. And it's the understanding of really grasping these angels, aliens, demons, whatever you want to call them, that we're all part of the rainbow. There is no rainbow where the colors are separated. Like, ooh, I saw a rainbow. It was missing red, though. Ain't had no red. You got everything. You are the red. Kevin's the yellow. I'm the white. James the blue. All of these colors, though, are not separate. They're all part of one rainbow. So when we understand that, that's when we're able to see and flow with the angels, see and flow with the other beings that are out there that are vibrating at a different density. And what's their goal? What they're trying to do? These three different groups are trying to get us to go through three different phases in our human existence. Unlocking your memory, your mystery. Unlocking your mystery. Wearing your robe of glory. And healing your way. Okay? So, these are the three things unlocking your mystery, wearing your robe, healing your way, that these angels, aliens, that they all are involved in. So it says unlocking your mystery, not finding out your secret. It's no damn secret. You just don't know. The universe wants you to know. I hate the secret. It's not a secret. It's out there for anybody to find out. You better know the password. I'm going to whip your ass if you don't move out my way. How about that for the password? There's no secret. It's just a mystery that needs to be solved, please. We're actively trying to solve it every Sunday. There's people every Sunday, every Saturday, all over the world using religion as a way to solve their mystery. And eventually, whatever pathway you use to get to God, you run out of that path. You start having a direct relationship with God or with his helpers or her helpers, like angels, aliens. But the first stage is unlocking your mystery. And the mystery is, why were you born? What legacy are you going to leave on this planet? You got to know why you're born. Some people just try to figure out, how am I going to pay rent? So they're missing the whole, why was I born? Why was I born is more important. You're not going to be homeless. You're going to be okay. And normally those angels, aliens, whatever you want to call them, who are deceased, who lived before, they realize how stupid we are. How we get caught up in paying the rent and not paying attention to why were you born? Oh, I sure hope I can record my show tonight. Fuck that show. That's not why you were born. But it's the things that we wrestle with that numb us from the pain, right? The show numbs us from something else. People hoard to numb from the pain of some loss, or drink, or smoke, or have sex, everything, right? Just to numb and get us away. And that's where angels try to help out with the second one, wearing your robe of glory. Your robe of glory is your chakras. When Jesus had his transfiguration, he put on his robe of glory. He was blinging. Bing, 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 all seven. Your Kundalini rise, guess what? You're putting on your robe of glory. And normally the people who have never been born, those are the angels that are helping us with that. You got a lot. You got more than you know. And when you're able to raise your vibrations to the 5D, you find out that you're not a one-man army. You're not a one-woman army. You're a big old army. You're a team going after stuff. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you and prove to you, your angels, your aliens are all around you, hiding in plain sight. But we never practice on the virtues and the equipment. So Kevin is always from day one impressed me as being a man's man. You need to get something fixed, something done, somebody beat up. You may not ask Kevin to beat him up, but before I beat you up, I want to talk to Kevin first and give me some good beat up advice. Kevin seems like a man's man to me. All right. Now, if I give Kevin some tools and say, hey, Kevin, here's some basic tools. Use these tools, build this sucker. Right? He can have all the perfect tools in the world. Oh my God, well, you bought me the 2023 jacked up, souped up, manifested hammer of Thor. I'm going to hit me some nails. He can have the best equipment in the world. But if he doesn't have the knowledge on how to use it, it doesn't matter. The same thing applies about wearing your robe of glory. You can know all about the chakras. I know all 7 chakras. I know the colors of the chakras. I even know the tone of the chakras. I know the chakras are shaped like a funnel. Well, do you know your ass need to be kind in order to balance the chakra? If you don't have the kindness, it's not going to work. If you don't have the knowledge, then that robe of glory is just going to keep you cold. So these angels help us by guiding us, but we have to ask for their help because this is like an interactive play. The audience is there. The audience is ready to hop in and be an extra. But you got to let the audience know, hey, now's time you can be an extra. And then sit down. I got this. And that's what you can do with archangels. They're sitting there, they're waiting, they're asking, do you need help? Do you need help? Do you need help? And we get so caught up and think, let me just think my way out of it. Ask for help. Even if you just ask a generic question you throw out there, angels, is there any obstacle I'm going through that you can make it easier for me to do? And at the same time, not cheating my living experience. Because you were born to have problems, right? You need those problems to get to the next level. Because that next level is healing your way, which is the third thing. Healing your way. That means healing your body, healing yourself, healing your heart, your way. That means healing somebody else. Healing Bachna, healing Rozzy, healing Kevin, healing Jane, healing Saul, healing Kit, healing Flipper. My way. Because we all have different archetypes. But everyone on this planet, every single one, what I found out is a healer. Everyone. Every one of us is a healer. Different kinds of healers. A teacher is a healer. Even a janitor is a healer. Suspend what you know in order to grow. And when you realize that you're all healers, that we're all healers, but that we don't even all know that we're all healers. We're on a planet that needs healing, surrounded by all healers. We have everything we need to win. We are healers. It's not like we're a planet of healers on a whole planet of people who are healers on a planet that don't need healing. You can look out your window, you see something that needs healing. And you can be a speaker, that's a healer. A coach, that's a healer. A guide, that's a healer. A motivator, that's a healer. A nurturer, Jane's a nurturer, that's a healer. You give out hope, that's a healer. And all of the angels that we're talking about, they're healers too. And you can call out and reach out to the ones that matches up to what you need. So do a recap of this, and then I'm going to move forward. There's three things that you have to do in your human earthly existence. Understanding that you're a projection that comes down to God. It's like light that eventually gets stretched out, slowed down, and by the time you get real slow, you get the human body. Okay? We're the slow ones. Angels, aliens, they're moving a whole lot faster. The vibrations, we can't see them. Come in, they come out. But our goal is to unlock your mystery. Why were you born? What's going to be your legacy? Okay. You can find a lot of your deceased beings that used to live, now they're gone, willing to give you advice. Wearing your robe. How do you make it so all 7 of your chakras are blinging? You put on your crown of glory, your robe of glory. You're strutting your stuff like JJ from Good Times. Dynamite. Maybe more like George Jefferson. He had a better walk. You're strutting. You're glowing. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Golden. All these songs that are popular and famous, they're tapping into the core of what the universe is like. That's why these people are making a lot of money. And then healing your way, not Joe Dispenza way, not Jesus' way, not Will's way, your way. And that's a matter of going in and searching. And there's 8 different archetypes that we're going to go over in the future. 8. You got to find out which one you are and work that sucker. And become better at the rest, but realize, It's like, hey, I'm playing basketball. I'm a great point guard. I can pass the ball, but I got to work on my shots. I got to work on my dribble too. It's not going to be my game. I'm not going to be going around slam dunking on somebody. I'm a passer. I move the ball around. But we can become better in these other areas. Okay. There's something else I want to show you too as we move forward. It's a concept I brought up about a year ago, and now I see it coming out. In order for you to see angels and aliens, one of the things you have to learn to do is cast a circle. That is magic. Cast a circle. Create your space. It's like solitude that you put around you. And when you do, the vibrations within that circle are a whole lot higher. That's what Yeshua did with the transfiguration. He cast a circle. And the three people that came with him, they were able to see from there. Peter, John, and James. They were able to see that Jesus's former mentors. Moses was Jesus' former mentor back when Jesus was Joshua in that reincarnation. Elijah was Jesus' former mentor back when he was Elijah. Then John the Baptist. But he cast a circle. He manifested within that space. So what I want you to look at is the dot, the line, and the square. The dot right here, because I'm taking it from my board over there. But the dot has no clue that the line exists. None. The line has no idea the square exists. None, totally clueless until someone show him. And there's something beyond the square. There's something beyond this 3D existence that we all are having right now. And more people in the world are waking up to it. But I'm going to show it to you today, but I want you to lock on it and then live your life that way. And I'm going to show you how I'm doing the same. It changes everything we do. How do you go from a fear-based society to a love-based society overnight? Okay. It's about taking it to 5D. This could be just a triangle, right? But there's so much more built in it. And here you go. So you go from a dot to a line to a square to a cube. But then when you look at the cube, it's not just a matter of geometry, but it's the way the ancients have set up for us to list information. There's something called a Bible code that in Arabic, it's multi-layered. You can read it as just one flat line. Hey, this is the line. Or you can see it as a cube. And then the message kind of comes all together that we are one and what we're trying to do. So to show you how I'm putting this in practice, is I got some angel guidance yesterday of being able to write on this box and write on this box as if I'm actually writing on the box, not just lines. But this is like if I was writing on that side, and it gave me all the things that I can do. Has anybody ever read a Stephen King book? Okay. There's a point, if you haven't, as an exercise, as proof for me showing to you about angels and aliens and how this works and how to go from 3D to 5D. There's a point when you're reading Stephen King, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, you get sucked into a much deeper level. It's like right here on the surface, you're just reading, and then all of a sudden, like needful things. You're reading, he's just in the store. Then the next thing you know, you're scared like shit. Like, is somebody coming? I think somebody gonna bite my ass. It's just like, it goes to another level. And that's because he is coding what he's writing at 2 different levels. And for the last 3 days, I've been fasting. I didn't even get to talk much to my friend Jane that much because I just been walking in the forest and meditating and stuff like that. And for the last 3 days, I've been I figured out that there was another layer. There's another layer that you don't even know it exists in the way you talk to people and the way you build things. You just don't know. Right? Like if you're walking around, you've never seen an airplane, so you see something flying in the air, you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know that was an option. This is an option that I wanted to show you. This is how I coded everything that they told me in terms of unlocking your mystery, wearing your robe of glory, healing your way, and putting all the information in. All right, so now, okay, I'm going to show you something that you may have seen before, but this time we're going to do it in a way that's going to make it meaningful for you. And we're going to go this one first. All right. What I want you to do is that this is one of those images, okay? It's one of those images where if you look at it, there's a bigger 3D image that's inside of it. Everybody seen these before? Is there anyone who hasn't seen it where you look at it and then after a while, a 3D image? If you've never done one of these before, let me know in the chat. If I don't see anything in the chat, I want to know that you guys are all experienced. Okay. Now, I want to show you how you make this work. And you may have to turn off your camera if it's not off already, so you don't look crazy. So people ain't looking at your boogers in your nose, okay? But I want to leave my camera on. How you get this to work is that you take your face and you put it as close to the screen as possible. If it's on your phone, sucks to be you, but you can still do it. Take your nose and put it as close to the screen as possible. And when you're looking at the screen, don't look at a specific spot. Kind of feel like you're looking through the picture. Even when you're close like that, you're just kind of looking through. And then slowly start to pull back, keeping your eyes spread out, looking at everything, keeping your eyes there. And as you pull back, keep pulling back until you get to the point. You're going to get like this far away, where you're going to start seeing those 3D images within there. And then you grab onto that. And it's like a physical feeling you feel in your head. And that's the 5D world. So I'm going to do it now. Man, you guys put yourself on mute too. You're like, you're not going to hear me or see me. I hear no oh shits. Oh, wow. Oh, I can't see damn screen. I can't hear any of that. All right. So let me try it myself. Hopefully my nose is clean. And then I'm going to pull back. There you go. Wow. It's right there for me. So now I see it. It's like right there. And now that I see it, and it's solid. The crazy part has been there the whole time. It's been there the whole time. For like an eternity. Coded. It's everything. It's how you can communicate with angels, aliens, beings. It's how you can send messages to them. It's how you can build things and structures. And even what we're looking at right now, like my cone is sticking out at me. But there's a way I can adjust my eyes where I can make it so the cone is going inward and not outward. So if you stop looking at it right now and go back in, like if I make my eyes, like I make it so it's kind of goes a little blurry, and try to focus on it that way, boom. Now I got it. So the thing that was pointed out is now pointing back in for me. Just as simple as that. And as you start flexing that muscle, I guess I'll call it a muscle, that ability to look in and out. I mean, it's magic. You're literally performing magic in front of yourself. Your ability to switch on and off like that, that is you working your third eye. Now, for me, the better I got at this, I started seeing almost like cracks in the matrix, like little lines of light, just seems to wiggle or slightly be out of focus. And what you do is you take that same thing that you had with the screen, and then you move it into the real world. And you look for the same patterns. And that's when you start to see things that normally would not be there. Thanks, Shane. I saw that one about the karma burn. So to get you guys off of mute, did everybody see the cone in this one? Chris, you see the cone? Rising?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't see. I can't see it going inwards. I can only see it coming out.
Okay. So you can't see it going inwards. In order to see it going inwards, what I did was, if you can look at my eyes, I really don't know how crazy I'm going to look. And ever since I was 12 years old, I always had this ability and had no clue how it would be useful. Okay. And I look crazy. I know I do, but I never had a picture taken of it. Shane, don't you do it. Okay. You take no picture of me. Crazy. Better than that. That's called abuse. That is abuse. All right. So I take my eyes and I make it go like slightly crisscross. Okay. So when I make my eyes go slightly crisscross where I see two images, boom, it's right there. So it's the same premise of you looking through, not like at something specific, but you make your eyes, you can see how my eyes are going crisscross. Like right now, I'm making my eyes go crisscross, if you can see it, just a little bit. Now that's really crisscross, right? Okay. But you make your eyes slightly crisscross and you look at that and it goes from being boom to boom. Like it's really quick for me. Like the more you do it, the quicker you get to it. So you stand in here. And if I do it that way, it goes in. I mean, like deep in too. It's like song, song. It's like it sinks in. And then if I go the other route of pulling back this way, that's when I see the other one. Yep, there you go. It's really cool. Yeah, Kevin, they were a big deal for Christmas years ago, but nobody talked about this being the gateway and the training wheels for bringing out your 5D power and abilities. I used to love these when I first came out. I was like, oh, I don't get it. I mean, I got it, but I was like, now the message I got from the aliens is they were like, stupid, this wasn't supposed to be just a toy. We gave this to you guys to enlighten you. Freaking monkeys. I mean, you guys are so slow. We were like, look at that. It's pretty lights. And we were just lost. So now I guess we're a little bit more mature. So they're coming back. And the angels wanted me to tell you that we need to put on our robe of glory. We need to put on our robe of glory. That this has been them leaving clues for us, but there's also ability for us to work and write. And it just shapes our brain in a different place. I'm going to give you another one, okay? This one. Now, the interesting thing about this one is what they coded in here. I can see it. I have no clue what it is. It's definitely alien in some sort. All right. So let me do it again. And when you start to see it move, you can stop, you can go slow, you can go up and down. Oh, I got it. I securely got it. Some parts of it you see, whatever part you see, just focus on that. Then next thing you know, it pulls you in. So this is a little bit more complex because it has other things layered in it and behind it. And I have no clue what it is. It's like a levee. It's like a wheel. I see two spokes.
I see owls.
You see owls.
Like I see
Where
the
the owl?
eye, body, and the nose, and there's like 5 of them.
You see owls?
I see owls.
Where are the owls? Are they on the
In
left of the screen, right, middle?
in the middle, it's like there's 2 eyes, there's a nose, there's bodies, and they're on branches.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. For me, I see wheels with a pulley, almost like a DNA, just going around. And
Yeah, protein. I like, yeah. I don't
then
know.
in the bottom right, there are 3 balls that are linked together, like almost on a bike chain, like going around. And I think it's just interesting.
See faces.
So, anybody else see something?
I see faces.
What you say, Rosie?
I see faces.
You see
Faces.
faces?
Face- Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the owls. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I didn't see the faces.
It's
Let's see
like,
if I can do my crazy eye thing and maybe switch it another way.
it's like 3 on the left going toward. Let's see, 1, 2, like 3 or 3.
I have a 6
Yeah, that's right. 6.
right in the center, Rosie.
Right,
I'm
right. That's where I'm at. 1, 2. I see the same thing. Yeah, that's what I saw initially.
Whoa. Yeah, I see something totally different. I think I see what you guys see now. That is crazy. When I made my eyes go weird, like how I did for the last time, it brought out something totally different. Almost like a window looking out of.
kind of, isn't that life though? Depending on our perspective, we see things totally different.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway,
Very
this is
cool.
the proof right in front of us that we're seeing these wonderful, magical things, but our eyes aren't programmed to see it. So if you can
Mhm.
stay in this state right now, like lock into one of the images and pictures, and as you lock into it, I'm going to keep talking to you because you have to be in the 5D zone in order to even be able to see this. So I think that if I keep talking, the messages that they have probably hit at a higher level. So this right here, proof is in the pudding. And like the more you do it, the stronger you get. Like you'll notice if you put your hand in front of the image, you lose it. Like it breaks your focus, right? So just like in life, you got to be focused on what you want, but then you can become really good at pulling it back. So when you look at the job that you do, you can become rich just strictly off of knowing how to layer your story like this. I want to put this story in this framework and that story, I'm going to put it behind here or that piece behind there. So all the pieces are there on the paper, but just the way you arrange it, it becomes 5D. So that people are having an experience and don't even know why they love it. Except for the ones who are already enlightened, they get it. But then you're also able to quickly see things that are angelic and things that aren't. Right now, what we're doing is angelic. This is angel magic right here in front of you. Your ability to see within another dimension and within another space and time. And the longer you stay on it, the longer you meditate in this place, the more you be able to create and do. Like how I created and did that boxes of information. Right? Let me get off here for a second. Sorry to break your trance. this box, right? So the longer we were doing the other exercise in that other space, right? Now it helps it so that we start thinking more like this. So the next time you write on paper, just don't write like this. You can write like this. That's magic. That's creation. You want to manifest? Manifest within your space. Create a 3D object. 5D. Like this one right here. I started off with I wanted to do the Merkaba, just a box. Then the next thing you know, it was a box that went down further and further and further. And you can write words on it. Remember, we learned about syllagory magic. You can write words on the different levels. You can put another sacred geometry shape around it. And when you do this, you're manifesting instantly. That's how Jesus healed people. He would cast a circle and he would invite them to come into his circle. Because within that circle, he made the energy pure. He made everything high. All of these things. This was just such a huge epiphany for me. You have the archangels, right? That are the elves. But then that's just a projection from God that continues to come down and eventually get to us. You have the Merkaba, which grounds us into this human experience. And when we die, we go back into it. And we go back into God, or we come back down, making another projection. Or we move forward. Like the other people who have Ra he said he was a 6th-dimension thought form about to graduate the 7th dimension, which is connecting back with God. So he's basically at that level of the archangels trying to go to another place. Okay, so let me go back. So I've seen some comments. It's like a molecule in the front of a wheel. Philippa, thank you. I have no clue what it is. Proton line. It's just all of these really cool things that I'm telling you. This is out of just one thing I did. What if some of your angels have programmed these things in your house for you to find? That you've been passing by, you have not seen. Because your virtues haven't been there. Because we have to raise our vibrations. So on one hand, we have magic, right? It's like me giving Kevin all the tools. But on the other hand, Kevin has to have the knowledge. And that knowledge is problems. Again, we got to go through problems. Because those problems bring us virtues, even if we don't win them. So I'm reading something called The Law of Light, where in there, the guy is saying, there's a quote from another book, that when you have problems, when you're heartbroken, you're never closer to Christ. Because it's during those pains and those problems that you're just going through that it heightens and enables your ability to operate on the 5D space, to get more virtues. Maybe I couldn't understand and see those protons and electrons because I haven't acquired the same virtues that Kevin has. So it's unable for me to download that and get it, but perfect for him. And there's probably some areas that vice versa I can see. So what I did was I ordered a book off of Amazon that have all of these, because this is a new area for me to study. It's a new way of thinking. It's a new way of creating. It's a new way of manifesting. This is angelic. And I even took all my books that I have on my bookshelf. So I have like business books over here, and in my closet, I have a whole bunch of spiritual books. It's kind of like a keeping my spirituality in the closet. You get it? Like in the closet. I know you like that. I know you like that. I'm out of the closet. That. But I put these books on the ground and straight up, I had one from Rashtrasant Tukaji Maharaj, right? I had one from the Bhagavad Gita. I had one from a manifestation book from a Russian mystic. And then I had one from this lady, right? And that was like around the 7 planes. And I was able, when I raised my vibrations, to tell which books were coming from which philosophy. That some books were coming from white magic. Some books were coming from black magic. The Russian mystic, that was black magic. And then some books were coming from like the archangel lineage and breakup of God. We're all God. We're all aspects of God, shining down their projection. And I personally get down with the projection of the archangels. So when I open up stuff by Krishna or stuff by Yeshua or by Yogananda, those vibrations, they fill me up. They raise my vibrations easy compared to some other trickster, kind of black magic, Transurfing reality is the one I'm talking about. That's absolutely a lineage of black magic. Like things get watered down, but you can get down to the root cause. Like there's a root cause to us. We're connected to some archangel. That's our archetype. It's like we're Mika, Gabby, Yuri, Rafa. We're one of these. At our core level. Everything else is just. And when you understand who you are at the core, when you unlock your mystery, boom, now you're ready to put on your robe of glory. If you don't know who you are, you're going to put on the wrong person's robe. This don't smell like my glory. You got on the wrong damn robe. I don't wear Drakkar. Drakkar. That's old school. My wife told me one time, we were in college. She was like, I would hug you more if you didn't wear Drakkar. I was like, you don't have to tell a young boy that. We'll throw that shit away. Drakkar was never on me again. But obviously I got married, so that tells you what was. You have to put on your robe of glory. You have to figure out what is your mystery. Okay. What is your mystery? What's your life purpose? Which angel can help you with that? Help you. And you can tell them to back off. You can tell them to come on. And then the next thing, wearing your robe. How do you get it so all 7 of your chakras? And this is what they wanted me to tell you too, by the way. In your brain, you have like 7 major parts, right? You have a frontal lobe, back lobe. You got 7 parts. Well, you have 7 chakras. And people think that, okay, my root chakra, I got to work on that. Then I got to work on my sacral. No. It's just like your brain. When you were born, it wasn't like, I got to work one part of my brain and then the other part of work. So hey, little boy, nice to meet you. I've been working my ability to see for the last 5 years. So in another 2 months, I should be able to smell. That doesn't work, right? That doesn't work. So us thinking, oh, I got to get my heart chakra right. And then after my heart chakras come my throat chakra. That's not how it works. Just like in your physical body, you're exercising, using, now you do word puzzles, right? You're going to use part of your brain more than another, but it's not like, oh, damn, I sure would be happy when I can learn to hear. You just use it all at the same time, based on you going through life, based on the problems you pick too, right? So your chakras are the same thing. They don't go in any particular order. You're using them, you're interacting, just like when you work out. It's best to work out your entire body at the same time. Because very rarely do we go through, I'm just going to work this pinky. There is no just pinky movement. It's just, no, you better not move that arm. You better not move. Oh, you moved that shoulder. Oh, no. Okay, maybe I'm going to levitate. Use the whole body. So when it comes to the angels, when it comes to the aliens, non-humans, you raise your vibrations up and they'll help you. The best way to raise your vibrations, and by the way, you're never going to see something you're not ready to see. If you didn't see something, that just means you need to work on your kindness, your humility, your joy. You don't have to work on your glasses. And when you see something that goes in there, now I got to go in because somebody, is talking about protons and electrons, science. I need to work on that more. What virtues are tied to that? Well, I think part of it is geometry. And that's why I bought a book on how to draw these optical illusions too. Because I bet you, me being able to draw it means that I'm going to be able to manifest things in a new way. And what if I come to Rozzy and Rozzy's like, Will, I need you to heal me. And I cast a circle using this 5D geometry that makes it so it's even more powerful. And then we witness a healing from there. That's the purpose of this stuff. Not just so we say, oh, I beat you. I saw it first. No, this is angel magic. The purest kind. It's right there. It doesn't take a lot of money. I got this off of the internet, even though I bought like 3 books. Okay, maybe 4. You could very easily get these images just like I did off of the internet and just work on that every day. And that's your meditation. You learn how to hold space. Cast a circle, hold space. That's what angels do. That's what the transfiguration was all about. They cast a space around. This is the holy ground. That ground over there is shitty. No, don't step over there. Holy. They cast a circle here. They perform the magic here. They perform the manifestation here. That's the next level of people. It's right in front of us. And it's not something just to say, ooh, look. It's something to be like, all right, let's do. So here's the homework. There is a meditation that's on the app that I'm suggesting that everybody does on their own, because you're going to be able to meet your angels. And that one is Karma Burning. Karma Burning in the app. Okay. Do the Karma Burning. Also, what I want you to do is to go on Amazon and buy you a book. Get you a book on these 3D puzzles, these 3D images, and use that as a form of manifestation. Use it as a form of meditation. Okay? So this is the type of session where it's not just, oh, we learned something interesting. No, you want to do something interesting. This is where you need to work. You need to roll up your sleeves. You're interested in angels? They're right there in front of you. You can see them. But you have to warm up your eyes. Jane, your mom's dead. You want to see her? You need to practice. We need to call up Kiesa and tell her the same thing. People got to put in work in order to get their spirituality on. They ain't just going to fall from the sky.
I got it. Yep.
It's not a pill that you take. There is no shortcut to spirituality. And I'm 100% telling people, you want to be down with angels, angel magic, or even aliens, because you're seeing now that more and more people, my sister-in-law and my niece saw a spaceship this past week in Richmond, Virginia. And a lot of people saw it and posted it on Instagram. No fluff, no fake. They saw it. It was so real. My niece, who's 16, started crying. They gonna get us. Like, it ain't like this the Great Kazoo. But our planet in general is not all bad. The vibrations are raising up. And as they get higher, people will be able to see and do more things. And our collective consciousness together, we're manifesting things actively. It's not just about us. We're all part of the rainbow. It's not just about what Kevin manifests today or Rossi. How many of us can manifest patience? Fuck money. If you got an hour, you better manifest patience, not money. That's a total switch in mindset. Manifest a problem that causes you to have empathy, to work on your empathy. Because you're missing that in order to be able to heal people, in order to be able to heal the world and heal the situation. It's like that 5D thing that we're looking at. It's right here in front of us. It's right here. Right in front of us. And we're saying we don't have the answer, but we are a world of healers. We're a world of healers who don't know we're healers, but we need to practice. To us, it just looks like a mess, it's a hot mess. And I'm that little dot over there, you're that little dot over there. But it's a totally, totally different way of seeing life. Totally different way of building it. So that's your homework. Do that meditation with the angels. It's going to help you with manifesting too. Karma burning. And then take a situation in your life and move that situation from 3D to 5D. I may actually have to create a meditation for that when we go to India, Jane, to walk people through it. But you don't need me. I am going to make one for you, though. But before I make it, you can walk yourself through. Listen to me. Take a situation of yours and move it from 3D to 5D. And if you don't know how, I will help you. That's exactly what I did yesterday with this crap. It looked like a whole bunch of chicken scratch. Now it's like, oh my God, I hope my wife don't come in here and think I'm crazy. Why is he writing backwards? Like some of this is backwards as if you're looking. Because when I went into the 5D mode, it was crazy. I had all these abilities like to write backwards on the inside. And still to get it, it's like the words didn't matter. It became more a thought form, because that's what we are. We're a thought seed, and that thought seed presses down into this. So when you're acting on the etheric levels, right, where this stuff is programmed into, like the Akashic records, you can do all this. So I took what I wanted to do around spirituality, and Jane knows I've been wrecking my head all week to do this and asking her, and she's giving me ideas. And I was like, I just got to figure it out myself. And then the angels gave me this code, introduced me back to this picture that most of us have seen. It's just like, oh, that's cool. Now, what happens when we write a book, but we write it that way to get a point across? Outline something, outline a feeling, outline a meditative experience. What happens when Rossi's like, I want to do a song? And he takes this box and he writes the lyric here. And then he puts another lyric here and another lyric here. So he structures the song a whole lot differently than if you just wrote that shit right here. Because multi-layered, it becomes like a Stephen King, where yeah, there's a story, but then, whoa, I didn't know there was a ditch down here. He takes you into this ditch, then he brings you right back up to normal. That's all he's doing. He is using angel magic to write his books. Michael Jackson was using angel magic to make his music. Prince, angel magic to do his stuff, but maybe not the ride. It's right here, right? He's talking in a regular story, then all of a sudden he brings you down, but maybe not the ride. You can crash up my home, crash up my car, maybe not the ride. He had the song layered right here, and then it goes, it's a totally different area. This is the realm of genius. It separates the 3D from the 5D. But when you do it this way, you can also do it on your relationships. Who are you having the most issues with? You can plot this out. There's a guy named Steve that stole $30,000 from me. I let it go. Didn't hold on to it at all. I can take that complex situation and that little star in the middle, just holding space, can be seed right there. What pain did I go through? What lessons did I learn? What pain did he go through? How did that impact others? And just looking at it, it just becomes a healing thing for me. Somebody's getting abused. The life of the abuser, the life of the abused, the life of another projected abuser from the one who got abused. And not just doing it in that square, but maybe in a triangle too. Or a circle. This one right here was me where I did a circle within a circle within a circle, just going down. It's a whole nother way of looking at things. We can't keep using the old ways to solve these problems. It's not going to happen. We got to break the mold. And the moment it clicked in your mind that, whoa, this is 5D. The moment you saw that picture switch, it's the moment you switched in to your divine mental state. And what I'm saying is you keep that. You keep that divine mental state in everything you do. And we need to stop playing around. So that's your homework. The search for that 5D out there in the world, because it's there. And your vision becomes clearer the more kinder you are. Your ability to see this is a side effect of the medicine. The medicine is kindness. The medicine is meditation. The side effect is your vision. So you're not chasing the vision. You want to chase the medicine, the kindness, the virtues. And meanwhile, you be smart about the way you build stuff. You're going to have a speech. You need to talk to somebody in your company. Make a sacred geometry figure. Simplistic. Box, triangle. Look at the different options. What's options one that he may say? What's option number two? You got to do a proposal you want to present to somebody? Use this. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Write it on top of there so you can see it clearly so you won't miss everything. And then plug in the people who are going to be part of it. Have 8 different rows because this box has 8 different circles where you can put their names in it. And then what people are going to be connected to each other. I need these two to communicate. Well, I need these two to communicate. Well, we're not going to have no communication here. It has to be around these lines. Because we need this process to be smooth and orderly. There's a whole another way of building. Magic is just unexplained science. Period. Jesus being able to heal people. It's casting circles. That's the science. The ability to create a sacred space. Every time you look at those 5D things and hold it for 1 second, it's like you're lifting spiritual weights. And you now have the ability to create a space for 1 second longer than you did before. And the more you do it, the easier you get in. Like how I just made up my crazy eye thing. Jane, you better not have taken no picture of me. I know you were like, just one, just one. My precious, precious.
I'm an angel today. I didn't take it.
Archangel. But it's so cool. Like the simplicity of the blessings that they gave me yesterday with this thing. And
Yep.
just me ordering the book, like they got this thing called book 1, sketches 1, 2, and 3. I got all 3. And then they got one on how you build the optical thing. I did it because I never thought that way. I was never that type of drawer. I wasn't like a naturally gifted drawer. But next life, you can best believe, because of what I'm learning now, that I will be.
Interestingly enough, though, you are a naturally gifted colorer of these shapes.
Yeah.
So now you just took it to the next level with words.
Yeah. It's just a matter of pulling down from the Akashic records, right? I was able to pull down colors. But that pull down shapes this whole nother dynamic, which meant that I had to experience some life lessons that opened me up to even be able to do that. It's as simple as that. But it's not like a clear connect the dots that people see. And that's what I'm trying to do, is the things that I'm writing down. It's help people to clearly connect the dots. Like Rozzy wakes up with a headache for no reason. There's no clear dot to show him that that's because a farmer in India committed suicide, and we're all connected. So he's feeling that pain. So he's walking around trying to figure out his life purpose, not really realizing that every day, the things that are connected to him, he's not seeing. But he was able to see it. He'll be able to stop the pain. He wouldn't need pills for depression or schizophrenia or just madness. I'm just mad because I wish I was prettier. But when you're able to see the world in this new way and connect all the dots together, then something can be done. Like you can go to a physical doctor when you got a broken foot. You feeling depressed, you can go to a psychologist. But who do you go to when your spirit's broken? You need a spiritual doctor. You need a spiritual doctor. I think that's going to be the next wave for mankind. And we're at the beginning of it because they first got to know this exists, right? They first got to know the chakras are real. Chakras probably the more scientific thing, that you can heal yourself with colors. Colorology is a real deal. It's angel magic. That anybody that does healing, the closest a healer can say, or I can say I healed somebody, is that I loaned my belief to Kevin. Kevin didn't believe in himself, right? So then Kevin started believing in me, right? Or I started believing so strongly in Kevin that he believes in him, and his body allowed him to reset. When you don't know who you are, you can't heal yourself. You can't heal anybody else. That's what unlocking your mystery, not your secret, unlocking your mystery is all about. And from there, you can put on your robe of glory. Angels and aliens are the same thing. Some aliens are just older. The Egyptians, the Indians, all of these people that ran into gods, they were aliens. Just had a different name. Not connotations or making things up. Suspend what you know in order to grow. Angels, aliens, demons, all of these things. They're just higher vibrating beings. And in some cases, thought forms only. Don't even have a body. Can't even kick your ass. Don't even understand the concept of kicking ass. like Ron. High vibrations. Okay. Chris. So that's like the foundation of the meat and potatoes I wanted to go through. Anything you want to share around aliens?
I mean, I can put a couple links in if you want.
Yeah. Talk to us. Tell us what's
I
going
mean,
on.
that is a long subject that's been around since the beginning of time. I can put over a couple links for you because it's something I've studied for probably 15, 20 years. Something I've been very interested into highly. So I'll just send a couple links. I mean, the latest thing, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it was, there was a hearing recently and there was several people that came out and spoke, high-ranking people in the military. What came out of the meeting was that yes, that we've had recovered craft, that there's been things going on within our government for a very long time with alien beings. They're aware of it, but they're not fully admitting. Pentagon's not admitting. SCIF, they wouldn't allow them to get into a private meeting to speak with one of the guys to give information. So to make it simple for you, I'll put in a couple links, and then I'll give you a couple going back in time that I have kind of subscribed to over the years that makes the most sense to me out of all the information, because it is a big subject and there's a lot of deceivers involved in it too. So you got to cut through a lot of it and do a lot of your own research. So I'll point you in the directions that I found that is the most truthful on the subject.
Okay. I think out of all the information you sent me, like from a high level, I would summarize it as in our world government has alien bodies, period.
Yeah.
They have bodies of beings not from our planet, period. There are spacecraft that they see daily over the ocean, in the ocean.
For years
like
at a time, yeah.
And I would say this in front of anybody, but I remember the times when I would be like, I gotta believe in aliens. No, fuckers are here.
Yeah.
They just are. And hopefully if you run into any, you run into the benevolent kind, because there are all different kinds. Okay. And the one thing that I predict is that when it becomes a well accepted fact, then humans will probably be nicer to each other, because then they start being racist against the aliens. It's just human way. Once we have a common enemy or somebody else that's different, then we're going to poke fun at them. Although you would think that this will help us transcend and use it as an opportunity to look in 5D and that 3D. Because if the majority of us continue to say you're not like us, so you must be worse than us, then that's just more of the same. And human beings aren't progressing. This should help us break the mold and see that our religious or habitual things have been limiting to us. And now we can let them go in order to grow. Suspend what you know in order to grow. Cool. But that's it at the core. Personally, my sister-in-law and my niece, they saw a spaceship last week in Richmond, big as hell. And people put it on Instagram. And on a video that she had, my niece was crying because she was afraid they were going to get them. I guess like an attack of the body snatchers. But it was long, it was rectangle, it had lights on 2 levels, and it was there, and then poof, it was gone. But thousands of people saw it. So these are real things that as we expand the way we see and we think, and stop ignoring things and realize that it's time for us to evolve. And you're either going to evolve and prosper, or your ass ain't gonna be here anymore, I'm sure. Earth will have no need for you. Evolve with the planet. Or, you're gonna end up going to another planet your own way. So with that, the final words I will leave with you, thanks Chris for jumping in, is get you some of that 5D imaging stuff. And then get you some of that 5D behavior. Start noticing yourself. Are you in 5D more during the day or 3? Do you notice yourself gravitating towards the unconditional love? Do things more and more stand out to you that no, this is just wrong? It's like, yeah, you can give me more money, but I don't need more money. Just give me this, right? You find yourself at the store and they say it's $5. And you're like, well, really? I think this should be worth 7. Try to take this. When you start seeing yourself step out of that type of norm, or do things just because it's good and right, and not just because it's robotic and habitual, you're starting to gravitate to finding. And that transition can be a little rough. You can feel a little strange. A lot of people have hopped off the planet because they just didn't get it. Don't you hop off the planet. Just sit it out. We came here for this, right? We came to have a physical experience. That's why it always blows my mind when people are like, I want to do astral body and I want to travel. Like, you stood in this long ass line to become an earthling. Right? The grass is always greener. Keep your physical ass here and learn how to be nice to people. Meditate, touch up to God, right? And then bring that stuff down, manifesting in this plane. That's what the whole 5D thing is about. You can take some beauty, some blessings, and look at the world in a new way and see how you can open up other people's eyes. See how you can work with little kids to get them to open up, and then just ask the little kid, you see this picture? You would have never seen it if I wouldn't have shown it to you, right? So who are you going to show? And now, just like that, it becomes their responsibility to show somebody else. Just that simple picture to open up their mind. Or you take them to another level like I did you guys with the adults. And I said, this is just in a damn picture. What if your angels left messages for you in a room? What if every time you see 111, 222, 333, the angels were really trying to tell you, look, bro, look. We left you a 3D hologram. Maybe we need to start daydreaming more. We're just looking out the window and letting your eyes go off like we did. Maybe that's listening to God. Not like listening, but it's like third eye listening. We don't have a lot of people on this thing today, but I think that the information is a lot of important. This is life-changing stuff. At least it is for me. Like I'm telling you, like this thing I got, I just feel good. And now everything that I want to create. And especially because that dot, that line, that square, that cube, that just speaks to me in volumes of our people. You got somebody that's going to be stuck in politics. Them damn Republicans, them damn Democrats, them damn cops, Black Lives Matters. And they get caught up in one ray of the entire rainbow. That ray is bad, but you got to look at the entire rainbow in order to get it. And they don't even know it's out there. So you have to speak to them in that one line, lovingly. Try to urge them to the square. The same way I try to lovingly urge you guys to see that 5D image. This is what you do, get your nose closed. Then you can go back, then make yourself look cockeyed, like nobody ever going to date you. Look cockeyed, look crazy. You're going to see something totally different, right? We have to guide people that way. So a personal question that I want to ask everybody, and I think I might have failed at this myself. Who did you guide towards the light this week? I don't know if I have. I think I can do a better job this upcoming week. I think that's the only question. Who did you guide closer to the light this week? And some weeks it could be us, right? But I want to guide somebody else this upcoming week, not just me. And that's what I'm going to be looking for. And I think what I'm going to do is take that image from that we showed and maybe put it on LinkedIn. And then have a post about thinking bigger and wider and what's in front of you. Try to guide somebody to the light. I think that's all that's asked for us. Is that we come here, have an experience, and guide someone to our light. We got to know where it is ourselves, right? In order to guide somebody. So it's kind of like a deed that helps two at the same time. So when a friend of yours comes to you with a problem this week, it's like my wife says. She says, this is a first world problem, right? Oh, I ran out of dishwashing detergent, but you got electricity. And in Africa, it's going off every day. Like, I went to Ghana. Electricity went out on Tuesday and came back on Monday. That's a third world problem. Okay. So the next time one of your friends comes to you with a problem that's 3D, make it 5D. Make it 5D. Plot it out. Actually, write it out. You may be talking on the phone, take some notes, draw like a square box, and then start plugging in the details or start plugging in your thoughts. And then based on that 5D view, see how your advice changes and what you talk to them, or your patience level, and getting them to go from here to here to here. Because that's what my box was for AIM, awareness, impact, and mastery. Get them aware that they need to unlock their mystery. It's not a secret. It's a mystery. Impact, okay? Get them to put on fully their robe of glory. Let your chakras shine. Find out about the Merkaba. And then once you're clearly you, figure out what your archetype is. Because next is the mastery. The mastery stage is heal your way. How do you want to heal yourself? How do you want to heal the world? Be a good you. Don't be a good your mama. Don't be a good your cousin. Don't be a good your political party. Fuck all that. Be a good you. That's the mastery stage. And that's the one that I use. You can use one too. Because I think all of you guys are giants. We all are. Just like our brain and the message that the angels gave me to give to you guys. You don't work on I don't work on my seeing part of my brain. And then in another 5 days, I work up to the smell. You use it all based on life and how you experience your chakras. You're going through times where you're going to be horny. You're going to go through times where you're going to be hungry. You're going to go through times where you're going to want to whip somebody's ass and be angry. Every read in the book, you're going to be. And those things allows us to brighten, sharpen, use, warm up our inner light. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's there, not there. And now I showed you a way that you can see it. You lost a loved one, they're there. They're not 20,000 feet above Earth. They're 20 feet away from you right now. You can't see their ass because you're vibrating too low. But when you do kindness or you sing a song that's joyful, you're vibrating high. And when you do that, start looking. When you have music going on or lights or even aroma, like a smell, that's angel magic. It's all vibrations that are attracting and pulling people through. I had to set up my aromatherapy thing over there to get some good air in. Peppermint. Some peppermint. Gateways and portals, all of these things are at your disposal. I consider us all to be warriors, and it's time for us to gear up. Be loving warriors and go out there and use this information. And next Sunday, I'm going to ask you, hold me accountable too. Who did you guide to the light? I didn't say bring to the light. I didn't say force to the light, drag to the light, beat their ass to the light. No. Who did you guide towards the light? And it's up for them to go. And did you look at the world in a 5D way more? Did you solve your problems in a 5D way? Plotting it out, listening out. Or even you don't have to put it on the board. You can see it in space, in the ether of time. You start looking at that and working it. You can get that book. Watch, you're going to find out. You're going to see me holding up these books. And whatever I am now, I'm going to be so much better. I know I am with this. I know I am, like a whole nother level. And it all came from me studying and reading these spiritual books and the ones on the angels. And then it led me to another book, led me to another book, that led me to this. And that's how you become your own guru. If you seek, you will find. You just have to search and be willing to get lost. That's how you find your way. You're willing to get lost. Because you're letting your higher self take over. And that's what your higher self is. Your archetype. Are you a nurturer? Are you a coach? What kind of healer are you? These are the things we're going to be looking at as we go forward. First, we need to unlock that mystery. Then we need to help you put on that robe of glory. And then it's a matter of us going out and healing the world. Your way. Cool. So with that, I will say goodbye to everybody on YouTube. Please, if you like this, subscribe so that the upcoming things that we cover in terms of putting on your robe of glory, tapping into more angel magic, that you don't miss that. Okay. And in terms of our spiritual Sunday buddies, I love you all. And I will talk to you guys next weekend, next Sunday. Let's see what the topic is for next Sunday. Anyone know what the topic is for next Sunday? Before I look. Oh my God. It's really good. Living a magical life. How to bend the laws of the universe. Yep. And that's going to be a good one. Bending the laws of the universe. So that's when we're going to jump in and we're going to look at the virtues. And then after we look at the virtues, we're going to look at the problems that bring those virtues. And then we're going to look at the superpowers. Like you want to be able to levitate. You want to be able to bilocate. I've been bilocating a lot this week. And it starts off with you slowly slipping in and out of consciousness or being aware of multiple consciousnesses, things going on at the same time. That's nothing to feel crazy about. That's like the training wheels to the next steps of you getting there. Now, if you're not doing any spiritual work, it's something for you to go to the doctor about, okay? But I've been working, so that makes sense for me. You just been eating Cheetos. Yeah, you need to take your feet to the doctor because something wrong with you. But if you're working, it's all good. Cool. But seriously, if you guys have questions during the week, give me a call. Shoot me an email to talk about this. There's nothing more important to me than talking about this. Nothing. We spend a lot of our time filling up with stuff that are useless or just makes us numb. We got to be able to have the willpower to snap out and have real discussions with people and be able to show people tangible proof of things happening. You saw tangible proof of your eyes and you thinking in a different way and a technique of you being able to build out. Now your ass got to do something about it, right? And you just become part of the problem, not the solution. And we're all bigger and better than that. All it takes is a little bit. Cool. And this is on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it again. I know I surely will, because sometimes I was in a trance. Cool beans. All right, so with that,